In the near future, scientists warn humanity that the world is heading toward its greatest crisis in history. Global temperatures are reaching record highs, killing millions of fish, destroying countless species, and even releasing ancient bacteria trapped beneath melting polar ice. As the crisis worsens, several nations begin facing severe food shortages, causing riots and chaos in the streets. But Thailand claims to be safe, assuring its citizens that it still has enough resources after remaining disconnected from the outside world for more than 10 years. Former Muay Thai fighter Singh now works as a delivery driver for Versus Corporation, one of the most powerful agricultural companies in the country. During his latest delivery to Bangkok, Singh tells his coworker Kriang that this will be his final mission because he wants to return home to his girlfriend, Rin. However, their journey quickly turns dangerous when a truck blocks the road and a group of armed thugs prepares to attack them. Singh strikes first, smashing one man's head against the truck before taking on the entire gang using the fighting skills he developed in the ring. Although Singh gets a cut across his cheek, the attackers barely manage to hurt him. One thug reaches the back of the truck and begins opening a crate, but Kriang quickly takes him down before he can discover what they're carrying. When they finally reach the warehouse, Singh and Kriang aren't paid in full because one of the crates was opened. Kriang takes the damaged crate home and gives Singh his old bike, as promised. Inside the crate, they discover something almost impossible to find anymore: fresh fish. Singh takes some of the fish home to Rin, who is a doctor. She treats his wound while angrily warning him about taking dangerous missions. Singh promises that this was his last job, but Rin doesn't believe him because he's made the same promise many times before. Meanwhile, Versus executive Purik is enjoying an extravagant meal with wealthy investors, while ordinary people outside are fighting over food. He proudly declares that Versus Corporation will become the world's food hub. But moments after eating the company's fish, he begins vomiting blood and suddenly collapses. At the hospital, Rin is pulled away from a scheduled surgery and taken to a restricted area reserved for wealthy patients. There, she meets Vasu, the powerful head of Versus Corporation, whose wife is in a coma. Vasu has brought fresh fish and wants Rin to feed it to his wife, believing it could help her recover. Rin insists that the fish must be tested first, but Vasu reminds her that he is feeding the entire country and intends to make his own decisions. Meanwhile, Purich's condition becomes horrifying. As his veins darken, he continues vomiting blood and eventually dies despite the doctor's desperate attempts to save him. Seconds later, Purich suddenly begins moving again and attacks a nurse. Soon, the hospital descends into complete chaos as infected patients and medical staff turn into violent zombies. Outside, police surround the hospital and prevent relatives from entering. When bodies fall from the windows, the officers discover that the infected are turning into monsters. Instead of controlling the situation, the police open fire on the crowd, killing civilians whether they are infected or not. Singh hears about the emergency and rushes to the hospital on his bike. He sneaks inside and discovers that the restricted section has already been overrun. Meanwhile, Rin hides with the injured hospital director, only to discover that he has become infected and is eating a dead nurse. Singh eventually contacts Rin through the hospital intercom, but the power suddenly goes out. As the massacre spreads through every floor, Singh fights his way through the zombies using his fists, kicks, tables, phone cords, and anything else he can turn into a weapon. While searching for Rin, Singh encounters a frightened boy named Buddy. The boy explains that his mother works in the hospital, and Singh agrees to let him come along. Buddy also reveals that the zombies can be killed by attacking their brains, giving Singh an advantage as they continue fighting through the building. Elsewhere, military leaders realize the infection could spread throughout the city and decide that their only option is to destroy the hospital with explosives. Soldiers are sent inside to plant the bombs, giving everyone trapped inside less than an hour to escape. Singh and Buddy discover that Rin and Buddy's mother are supposed to be on the 5th floor. After fighting through another horde, they find Buddy's mother, Mink, but she has already been bitten and knows she won't survive. Mink gives Buddy his inhaler, and asks Singh to protect her son. Buddy refuses to leave his mother, but Singh eventually forces him away. Moments later, Mink transforms into a zombie, leaving Buddy devastated. Meanwhile, Rin discovers that Vasu and his wife are still alive in a secure room. She begs Vasu to let her inside, and he eventually agrees. Soon, military leaders receive orders to rescue Vasu and his wife, even though the hospital is scheduled to explode in less than 30 minutes.
When the rescue team arrives, Rin is forced to leave the room to find blood for Vasu's wife. At the same time, Singh and Buddy finally reach the 10th floor and find Rin. Singh fights through the zombies while soldiers begin shooting the infected from the other side of the building. The soldiers rescue Vasu and his wife, but initially leave Rin behind. Singh eventually reunites with her after using a fire extinguisher to destroy a zombie that was about to attack her.
However, the rescue quickly turns violent. A military doctor is bitten and killed before he can transform, while Singh is shot in the shoulder by the soldiers. Rin desperately tries to help him, but the team drags her away. Singh refuses to stay down and fights back using anything he can find. He battles one of the soldiers hand to hand, but his injured shoulder puts him at a serious disadvantage. Eventually, both men collapse after exchanging brutal blows, leaving Singh unconscious.
Rin later finds Singh and treats his injuries with Buddy's help. When Singh wakes up, they apologize to each other and share an emotional moment. Singh places the ring from his necklace onto Rin's finger and promises that once everything is over, they will finally return to their hometown. But with only 15 minutes left before the hospital explodes, another infected soldier attacks them. Singh throws chemical bottles at him before using a flare to set him on fire. The group escapes just before the sprinklers activate, unaware that the water is about to trigger an even more terrifying mutation.
The infected bodies begin transforming into powerful fish-like creatures. Meanwhile, Vasu discovers that his wife has been bitten. Instead of leaving her behind, he approaches her, happy that she can finally move again. She immediately attacks him, and the creatures surround the bed and tear him apart. Singh, Rin, and Buddy eventually reach the car ramps, but another massive horde blocks their path. Singh orders Rin and Buddy to run while he stays behind to fight. The mutation has made the creatures much stronger, and Singh struggles to hold them back.
Rin and Buddy reach the roof, where a soldier prepares to evacuate them.
Rin refuses to leave without Singh, so the soldier gives her 5 minutes. Down below, Singh becomes trapped inside a car while hundreds of monsters surround him. One infected soldier attacks the vehicle, and a grenade causes the car to explode. Singh miraculously survives, but even more monsters begin chasing him. On the roof, the soldier finally forces Rin and Buddy into the helicopter, despite their protests.
Just as the helicopter takes off, Singh reaches the roof with the horde behind him. Rin and Singh share one final heartbreaking look before the zombies overwhelm him. Singh continues fighting until the hospital explodes, destroying the entire building. Later, Rin returns to her hometown with Buddy, believing Singh is dead. But the truth is far different. Singh survived the explosion by hiding inside a storage tank, and after escaping, he is forced to kill another zombie before finally stepping outside.